What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out. Episode 7 of The Acolyte is in the books. And in my opinion, this is the worst episode of the season, hands down, and it's not even close. Even worse than episode 3. This is utter hot garbage because of what they do to the Jedi in this episode. Look, Leslie Headland is a hack. She can't write. She doesn't understand Star Wars, and she has no idea what the fans would be looking for. All of this trying to, subvert our expectations of who the Jedi are and what the Jedi stand for. She just basically has to write the Jedi like clumsy, bumbling idiots, buffoons, all right? Super emotional, highly emotional animals, all right? The Jedi are supposed to be calm, cool, and collected. This is the High Republic period. This is supposed to be when the Jedi are at their absolute peak. This is supposed to be peak Jedi, and these clowns are the worst Jedi I have ever seen in any Star Wars book, television show, cartoon, movie, you name it. It is the absolute epitome of garbage, all right? Utter trash. Even the Collider points that out. The Jedi really are the bad guys, all right? The heroes of the franchise in this show are absolute crap, all right? They're horrible people, and they do things that are nonsensical, make no sense whatsoever. It's just ridiculous, man. It's to the point now where even the shills are starting to tap out, all right? We saw this tweet on the Nightcap when I was covering it on the Nightcap. Grace Randolph, the Acolyte, oh, man, that was awful, okay? You've lost the shills at this point, Disney. You've lost the shills, Kathleen Kennedy. They are no longer rocking with you. The people that give you every possible chance to be whatever it is you want to be, they have tapped out. They're saying, I'm done, okay? I can't get with this anymore. This is awful. That's basically where they are. And again, they're taking their opportunity to attack the Jedi. Leslie Headland said it from the very beginning that she wants to challenge institutions. She hates the good guys because she's a villain. And so what she does is she villainizes the bad guy. Isn't it funny? Like, I thought the Acolyte was supposed to be exploring the Sith. Isn't that what they said? Yeah, like this was on Den of Geek a couple of weeks before the show even came out. Star Wars The Acolyte is the deepest dive into Sith canon ever. Really? There's been no discussion of the Sith, in my opinion, except for the one line that Kamir drops in, episode 5? So you may call me Sith, or whatever. How is this a deep dive into the Sith canon? It's not. This is nothing but slamming the Jedi, all right? Saul is the literal worst Jedi. This guy right here, man, I said this before. I said this before this episode came out. This dude is the worst Jedi I've ever seen. And this episode pretty much cements that, all right? This guy is super emotional. He has an attachment with a child that is like borderline creepy, and it makes no sense. Why would you have an attachment with somebody that fast? It doesn't make any sense. This show is a train wreck. And it's disgusting to see what's happened because Leslie Headland, instead of doing what she said she was going to do, like there's actually, something to be said. Hey, you know what? Let's look into the Sith. Let's talk about the Sith. Let's see what the Sith are all about. Let's explore some rule of 2 or whatever. That's what I thought we were going to be getting, when they first announced this. This isn't anything like that. I mean, this is the furthest thing away from what this show is, all right? It's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, like I said, you got Grace Randolph tapping out. People all over the place are just like, what is this crap? Like, I haven't seen one positive review of this thing yet. Actually, I take that back. This is a positive review because I want to say after all is said and done, what do these guys give it? Yeah, a 7 out of 10. There's no way in hell this thing is a 7 out of 10. His own unique vision of Star Wars. The events on Brendock are tied up very satisfactorily. They are. Yeah, again, and then the Acolyte is unafraid to paint the Jedi out to be the bad guys. This is all this chick was interested in. All she wanted to do is just tear the Jedi a new one. She hates good people. She hates good people. She loves the villain. She thinks she's a villain. And so she wants to paint the Jedi in a negative space. She wants to say, oh, the Jedi, not so good. Not so good. Well, basically, these Jedi are just a bunch of liars, man. Like at the end of the episode, you got Indara basically saying, yeah, we're going to go out there and lie. We're going to tell straight lies. Instead of coming out and saying, you know what, we messed up. This whole situation was ridiculously bad, but we have some honor and we're going to go out and tell the truth. And we're going to go back to the council and tell them what happened and, just let the chips fall where they may. They're not interested in that. Leslie Headland is a garbage writer, and she doesn't understand the franchise. And again, that's why this thing is sinking to the bottom of the ocean. All right, look at this. New viewership data for the Acolyte confirms Star Wars fans are abandoning the franchise. Yeah, this is on Park Place, that Park Place. Shout out to John F. Trent. A data analytics firm, Nielsen, released their data for the week The Acolyte had its 2-episode premiere, and it confirms Star Wars fans are abandoning the franchise. Not only are they abandoning the franchise, but the series is one of the least watched live-action Star Wars premieres on Disney Plus based on minutes watched. Nielsen reported that the show only garnered 444 million minutes watched for its 2-episode premiere at the beginning of June, all right? Let me blow this up so you can see it. Yeah, and this is on the Nielsen charts, all right? It's an original, okay? If you go to overall, it doesn't chart at all, all right? The week that it dropped, a Star Wars show couldn't chart whatsoever. But when you go to the originals, it's sitting here at number 7, actually 488 minutes watch. Yeah, and they're saying basically when you get back to the article, it's slightly above Andor. Slightly above Andor, but, you know, far behind all of these others. Far behind Ahsoka, all right? It had 829 million minutes watched. The total minutes watched between Ahsoka and the Acolyte's premiere is nearly a 50% decline. So this thing is dropped, you know, from wherever Ahsoka was, half. All right, half of the people that watched Ahsoka are coming back to watch The Acolyte. And I guarantee you, as the weeks progress, it's going to dip. It might spike during episode 3, but it's just going to continue to dip. Nobody's watching this show. Nobody likes these characters. Leslie Headland can't write. This is just an utter disaster, and I don't think there's any recovery right now whatsoever for The Acolyte. I don't think anybody's really going to be watching episode 8. It's probably going to get one of the lowest final or finales in Star Wars television history. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It gets even worse when you compare it to Mando season 3, which arrived on Disney Plus in March of 23. Nielsen reported the 1-episode premiere garnered 823 million minutes watched. Like Ahsoka, it is nearly a 50% decline in total minutes. However, it gets even more bleak when you realize the premiere episode was only 37 minutes long. That means by Disney's calculation, it would be 22.2 million views. That's a 75.6% decline. I mean, if it was not already clear that The Acolyte is performing badly, Andor, which had a 3-episode premiere back in September of 22, hits the point home. According to Nielsen, the 3-episode premiere brought in 624 million minutes watched. That's a 28.8% decline. However, the total run time for all 3 episodes is 123 minutes. By Disney's calculations, that's 5.07 million views. That's actually a 6% increase. So once again, nobody's watching the show. You know, and look, there's been some discussion about Andor season 2. I think Andor season 2 is actually going to perform all right. I think a lot of people are interested to see what happens next, you know, and the show is well written. People honestly just want well written television. If you write a good show, people will find it and watch it and say, hey, this is a well written show. Maybe I don't like Star Wars, maybe I do. But if the show works, the show works. And people will watch it and enjoy the drama, enjoy the dialogue, the intrigue, whatever's happening. Whatever Tony Gilroy is cooking up for Andor season 2, I think it's going to be just fine. All right. I think it's actually going to do well. But yeah, when you're talking about Star Wars right now, this is where The Acolyte is at. This is just really unbelievable, man. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really have anything to do with wokeness or DEI or LGBTQ. The thing about this series that makes it terrible, number one, it does have something to do with it because when you bring in diversity hires, when you bring people in that don't really have the talent or the experience to get the job done, they end up just churning out slop. All right. Bring people in with some merit. All right. Merit, excellence, intelligence. Bring in that, all right? MEI instead of DEI. Bring the MEI in and let's get that going. But the second part is when you don't understand your franchise and you're banking everything on your ideology. Oh, you know what? If we put a whole lot of representation in it, people will show up and love it because of the representation. We had representation in front of the camera, behind the camera. Leslie Headland is a lesbian woman. People, you know, hey, let's go ahead and support that. But if the show is trash, the show is trash. If the show is good, I would say it's good. It's not. It's trash. And it has nothing to do with anything other than the writing of the show. And once again, like I said, how they treated the Jedi. Basically making the Jedi out to be the bad guys. It's such a slap in the face to every Star Wars fan that's out there to think that you're going to take the Jedi, the heroes of this franchise, and just make them complete bastards, assholes. Like, straight up. There's no other way to look at it. Like, Soul comes in and he's like creeping around. He's getting this attachment with Osha. He has an opportunity to save both Osha and May. You know, you saw that from episode 3. He has an opportunity to save both of them. And he decides, I'm just going to go ahead and let May fall to her death. And I'm going to save Osha. That's the one I wanted anyway. Like, what kind of Jedi is this? Like, how did this guy become a master with this kind of nonsense going on? How did this guy ever become a knight? How did any of these people keep their jobs after this? That's what I was saying on the nightcap. How did these people continue on as Jedi after this debacle that we saw in episode 7? You cannot explain it. None of the writing makes any sense whatsoever. And why is it that Yoda cannot sense what's going on in the galaxy? Yoda's an 800-year-old Jedi. He has been there, done that. He's seen everything. And you're telling me that he can't sense a disturbance in the Force from all of this wacky crap that's going on Brindok? The witches and the death. Look, you guys can go and watch the nightcap. We discussed that, or Echo Base. We discussed it in length, but I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just flabbergasted at how bad this episode was. There's no redeeming this. This is literally the worst Star Wars television we've ever gotten, and we've gotten the Book of Boba Fett, okay? We got Mando Season 3. So this is saying something. This is the hottest of hot garbage that they've ever done. This episode alone is the worst thing I've ever seen Star Wars related. And I mean, and that's seriously not exaggerating. I can't believe this is where we're at with Star Wars, but here's where we're at, all right? Anyway, that's it for me. Y'all let me know what y'all think about episode 7 of The Acolyte, all right? The episode where Leslie Headland, she got her wish, all right? She said, yep, the Jedi are the bad guys. This is what this chick wanted all along. All right. This Sith Lord, this villain. She sees the Jedi as the bad guys here. You know, it's utterly disgusting. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.